y'all, this is Skylar at Dainty Ridge Farm. So today I wanted to come out and show y'all some native plants and native grasses and show you how to pick them for fall decor. So, you know, it's fall, we really like our decorations, and there's just a plethora out there for us to get ourselves. But there's a way to do it to get the most out of it, and I'm sure y'all have noticed picking grasses and that kind of stuff can get messy, right? And I want to show y'all the correct stage and different ones that you can pick for yourself and for your home decor. Alright y'all, so I want you to see behind me, this plant is goldenrod. There's a lot of it. It is very plentiful. It grows really well here. We're in central Mississippi. It's all over the roadsides. I'm sure in your backyard you can find it literally anywhere. And it is so pretty. It opens up to this really pretty yellow. I don't know if you can see very well. And while this is pretty, I want to show y'all the correct stage to pick it at. So I don't know if you can tell the difference in these two. This one's a little bit more mature. These flowers haven't really opened up yet. So on the stem, they put off these really tiny flowers, florets. So very pretty, really bright yellow. But in order for this, if you want to dry this for decor, if you picked it now, it'll just shed off and get messy and make your home messy, and who wants that? So I want to show y'all, I really also enjoy picking this for my bouquets in the fall. I think that little accent of yellow, really light green is very pretty in a bouquet. But also this is the correct time to pick it for drying for your fall decor. So the flowers haven't opened up yet. There might be a couple that's like really close to opening. So the point of any plant is they flower, they make their seeds, and they disperse off the plant to make more plants, right? So when you pick them when they're very immature, they don't get a chance to do that. So the flower, the seed head stays intact on the plant.
Pick another flower, but not complete. Hey Dad, look at this.
So pretty, baby. Hey, did you get these out? Well, I found them out there in the grass. If I hadn't walked past them.
So I plan to cut some more, but I'm going to cut them a little bit longer because I'm not really sure what container I'm going to put them in or how I'm going to use them yet. So if you cut them long, then you're able to have a little bit of more freedom on what you want to do later. But another important thing I would do, this is what I do with fresh flowers anyways, is whenever you pick it, go ahead and strip those bottom leaves off, because they're going to dry, they're going to get crispy, and whenever you're putting all of your stems together, you're just going to crush them together and then make more of a mess. So those leaves are going to get crispy and cause a little bit of a mess, but if you go ahead and just take that stem, strip it off, it's going to give you a cleaner look, and it's going to be a lot less messy for your home, and nobody wants that. So when you're picking them, just go ahead and strip them off, and then you're done. You don't have to have those crispy leaves waiting for you after you've dried them.
Where's the Ranger key?
See this? Isn't it beautiful, friend?
It's beautiful like you.
All right, come on.
I'm coming. So another fun one, you can see there's a lot of it behind me. This is a plume grass. So if you wait to pick it at this stage, when it's all pretty and fluffy, it's gonna shed. I mean, it's not that bad, but the drier that it gets, the more that it's gonna release those seeds. So I really like to pick it at this stage right here. So you can see how it's still really closed off as compared to this. It's a very immature seed head. Now I did see these out there. This is kind of that middle ground. So I'm going to do an experiment and we'll dry these two and see how much they shed afterwards. So this one's really pretty. This one will be really popular. I see it all over the roadsides. It's everywhere. This is a plume grass. It's really pretty. Kind of reminds me of pampas grass. That's very popular. So the only thing is picking it in this stage definitely gets a lot more messy, but it's just so pretty, so soft. I mean, you just run your hand. That's why it's really important to pick these when the flowers are barely just opened or that seed head is really immature. But this is a really good one. Probably one of my favorites. So another one, I believe this is broom sedge. I think. I'll have the correct name for you by the time I make this video. A sedge, or there's one that's very similar. Big blue stem or little blue stem. This is the correct stage to pick it in. So it's not all fluffed out, and I'll show you a picture of it all fluffed out. This is probably this one, and the plume is going to be your really fluffy fall stalks in your vases. So this is that stage that you want to see. So it's not all the way out, it's not fluffed out. Still really green. And as it dries, it's going to lose a little bit of that greenness. But as long as you keep it out of direct sunlight, that green's going to stay for longer. Otherwise, the sun naturally bleaches, right? So even with grasses or fabric, anything, if you leave it in the sun, it's going to bleach it. Eventually, over the years, it will lose its color, but at first, it will keep that green a little longer as you keep it out of direct sunlight. So as it dries, it's like this now, but as it dries, it's going to puff out like that pampas or plume grass. It's going to be really pretty. You can kind of see the start of that fluffiness. So this whole thing will be like that. And it'll be really pretty for your fall arrangements. So this is the next day. I have all of my bundles together. I secured them with a rubber band. This is just how I do all my flowers that I dry. You can't, if you hang them in too big of a group, it just takes it longer to dry versus a smaller group of flowers or grasses or whatever you're drying. So I just took a little piece of wire to make like an S hook, and I just hang them up there on the wall. And that's how I do all my flowers. And for the most part, they're not up here for very long. Really just long enough to dry, which is about 1 to 2 weeks. And they're done and I can take them down, so I don't have to worry about them being in the sun and being bleached. So this is after 1 day and they're already starting to puff out pretty good. So I know it won't take them long. Here, this is 2 weeks later. They're all really puffed out. It is kind of crazy to me how they do that over time. And they are ready to use for our arrangement. So I brought everything in and I told the kids to get some pumpkins and said that we were going to decorate the fireplace. So I chose the fireplace because obviously it's one of my favorite places in the house, this fireplace. We almost painted it white. It had like this clear coat on top of it when we were renovating. It just looked really shiny. I hated that. So my husband, he just went through and sanded it all off pretty much, and it looked really rustic and a lot more aged. And everything else is white in my house, so I just didn't want more white. So this fireplace is just a source of comfort and warmth, literally, but also in the color. And we didn't do the front porch because, we've only been here almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years the beginning of January. And there's just a lot of things around the farm that we haven't finished, and we won't finish for a while. We're just taking little bites here and there, and the front porch is one of those. So it is not very pretty, and it's getting pretty chilly, so I'm not really going to the front porch very much. And for me, doing all of this, I want wherever we're decorating to be a place that I see a lot, and we're trying not to leave the house all the time, to be going in and out, and we don't go out of our front porch anyways. We go out of our back door. So it made more sense to me to have this on the fireplace so that we could see it every day and enjoy it. So I'm just started to add everything in. This container that I'm using is an old artillery shell. My husband found it like under a house somewhere of his great uncle's house in a different state. Who knows? It was found by him. That's all I really know about it. And he brought it home. And this is not the first time that I've used it for arrangements. It is just really neat and tall, and just whenever you're not using it, you can just shove it in the barn. So that's where it was. And I knew that I hoped we still had it. And I asked him about it, and he brought it up to me. And it's really heavy, so it's not easily knocked over. So I felt like that would be safer with the kids. But it's just a really neat piece to have. I'm just continuing to add everything in. This is just a time to be creative. I went through and I harvested all these things. I dried them, and now it's just about putting it all together in just a way that I like. And it's really nice to do this. I'm always creating for other people, and I needed to have some times where I'm putting things together for no other purpose but for me and my family to enjoy, and get to do things and, just test out skills and see what I like and what I don't like. And this kind of offered that to me. So, of course, Boone is here and he wants to help. I didn't think I would get those pieces back, and I definitely didn't. But yeah, I just adding these finishing touches with the brown grass. I don't remember the name of it. But through this process, I did go through and we found all of the names of all the grasses. So that was another fun thing, was to be able to identify everything that we were using, which is probably pretty nerdy of me, but me and my husband really enjoy doing that. We want to know what plants are growing on our place and others and what's native around. So this was kind of an excuse to go through and look those plants up. So now we've finished the arrangement and we're going to start placing all of the pumpkins. This is where it gets exciting. Everyone wants to put a pumpkin, and we have lots of them. These are all pumpkins that we grew. So that was also just another really fun thing, that we're decorating with things that we started from seed, we planted, we harvested, we've stored them, and now we get to use them. And no, this is not Pinterest perfect by any means, but it is just an activity where me and the kiddos get to be together, and I just told them to put up whatever you wanted. Now, is it too many pumpkins for my taste? Absolutely. I like it to be a little bit more simple. Kids don't really know when to stop, but it was just exciting to do this with them, and they will have so much fun rearranging this over and over again.